The first step in including gardening as a part of your spiritual practice is thinking of your garden, whether you're growing vegetables, medicinal herbs, flowers, or just a few house plants, as a sacred space. The space allows not only for growing the plants, it allows for growing your spiritual connection, symbiosis between you and the plants, and for honoring life through both inner and outer practices. I think most of us know that gardening has a spiritual factor to it, even if it's just the fact that we're communing with nature. For me, it's so much more. Taking care of my garden and the animals that are or will be providing food for us is done with intent. I put my energy and thankfulness into everything that I do on my little micro-homestead. Gardening can also be a type of moving meditation. It's a way to practice mindfulness and connect with the natural world. It can keep you grounded in the present moment. As you focus on the sensations of the soil and plants and seeds in your hand, it helps you to quiet your mind. You're focusing so much on what you're doing and your connection with that. It kind of helps block everything out and just kind of slow things down. It can also teach you to let go of control. You can put in the plants or seeds, take care of them every day, do everything you're supposed to do, but you can't force them to grow. This can help with the larger life lesson of sometimes we need to just let go of control and trust the unknown. Trust that our deities, the universe, whatever higher power knows what's best for us and just kind of go with the flow. It also helps connect us to the cycle of life and death. We grow the plants, we harvest from them, then we watch them die back as winter approaches. If they're perennials or plants that reseed themselves, we get to watch them come back up in the spring. So we're seeing the cycle of rebirth there. It's a tangible way for us to connect with that circle of life, as well as a visual reminder of the changes as the wheel of the year turns. Gardening definitely fosters patience. We put the seeds in the soil, then have to wait to see if or when they're going to sprout. Wait for them to get bigger. Wait for them to start producing. Basically, there's a lot of hurry up and wait involved in gardening. But during that waiting period, there are still things that need to be done. We have to keep the soil watered and nourished, which can remind us to nourish our spirit and ourselves, because I know I think about nourishing my spirit a whole lot more than I think about nourishing my body. I forget to eat a lot. As you pull each weed, you can use it as a releasing practice. You pull the weed, you think of something that you want to release from your life, and just toss that with the weeds. We're using raised beds because the ground where our garden's at is hard and full of gravel. The front yard water line had to be replaced at one point before we were there. When I was building the boxes, I was focusing my energy on abundance so that energy could then go from those boxes to the soil to the plants. I also used moon water and painted Fehu for abundance and Burkana for growth on the boxes. And I do plan on going over that with paint. I just have not been able to find my paint markers. As I was putting each plant or seed in the soil, I thanked them for the work that they would be doing to provide food for my family while focusing my energy on helping them grow. I also use my time in the garden as a way to commune with the universe and my deity. It's a calm, relaxing time when I can talk to them without the worries of the world getting in the way, because I'm focused fully on what I'm doing in the garden and communicating with them. It's a way to, it helps me to block out everything going on in the outside world. I ask the universe for guidance in how to care for my plants and get them to grow the best that they can, but also in how to help myself grow and what my next steps should be. Beyond my gardens, I also currently have 1 chicken for eggs. Did have 2, but something killed 1 yesterday. And 3 rabbits that I'll be starting to breed in September for me. When I'm in our barnyard area, I'm always talking to the animals. I thank the chickens when I collect the eggs. I tell the rabbits how pretty they are and how thankful I am that they will be providing in the future their babies for me to feed my family. And as part of including all of this into my spiritual path, I plan on breeding them 4 times a year, right around the solstices and equinoxes. Just go with the seasons. I'll be making use of every possible bit of those rabbits. I'm learning to tan the hides, so either I can use them myself or sell them. The bones will get used to make broth and then dried and ground up into bone meal for the garden. Obviously, the meat will be food for our family. The ears and some of the feet will be getting dehydrated for dog chews, because I guess with the fur on, they're really good dog chews. It provides a lot of fiber for them. Some of the feet will be getting preserved and turned into little rabbit's foot keychains. Good luck charms. The organs we'll use in food for our cats and dogs. So every bit of it will be used. And I'm already using their manure as fertilizer, because you can just put it right on the garden. It doesn't have to be composted first. And when those future rabbits, when we breed them, are dispatched, I will be thanking them for their sacrifice as I'm doing that. I'll probably also be crying knowing me, but I also used moon water to put algae on our rabbit shed and the chicken coop for protection, and ingwas for fertility on the rabbit shed. We are going to be getting quail soon for both eggs and meat, and I already put the runes on their shed. If you watch any creators on social media who post about gardening or homesteading, a lot of them talk about how their faith is a large part of their life and how thankful they are to God for helping them to provide for them and give them abundance. So far, I haven't really talked about my spiritual path on the videos I make for YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, but I am going to start including it more. In fact, that's why I've got Jay recording it. That's going to be my long video for this week on YouTube. I want more pagans to see how I incorporate my spiritual path into my micro-homesteading journey and know that Christian beliefs are not the only ones that can play a major part in being more self-sufficient. I have found a couple of pagan homestead pages on Facebook this last week and a couple of pagan homesteaders on YouTube, but definitely outnumbered by the ones that are very vocal about the fact that they're Christian and how much they thank God for everything. But those are the ways that I include gardening as part of my spiritual path. I'd love to hear if anyone else has any questions or anything to add.